because we need to basically reopen the options which are available to us in this region, and we need to have, for example, have much more financial cooperation to introduce a greater degree of financial stability. Trade instability doesn't necessarily mean financial instability. There's no direct proportional relationship, and we can try to ensure that. At the same time, we should not be going after some of these ideas which are being put around, but which really do not have much to offer. For example, the idea of an ASEAN currency, or the idea of an East Asian currency. I think the fact that there is the US dollar has been dominant, and we should not be engaged in pursuing that. We have seen, for example, how South Africa and Brazil have been pushing for the idea of a BRICS currency, and causing a lot of distraction. And we have seen how President Trump has come down very, very hard on BRICS, primarily because of that issue. Let's take it off the table. If you look, for example, at the recent writing of the chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors of Trump, he is talking about a systemic change. I think he exaggerates his argument, but he is talking about systemic change. The tariffs are a means to a larger agenda which he envisages. Now, whether one agrees with it or not, that is the agenda which is envisaged, and we cannot talk about this question of tariffs without recognizing that. So we should not be thinking about a confrontational approach. Let us think of a more cooperative approach, cooperation within the region, but also well beyond the region, in order
There's
that we can...
definitely a pushback on trade, right? And when we talk about this, so I'm a believer in trade is win-win for everyone, right? Like it makes countries better off. Consumers benefit through lower prices, and countries need to make sure that they offer support to affected industries, that they build resilience into the system, and that's the government's job, right? Like, so they need to make sure that certain things are addressed. And I'm not saying trade is all perfect, and just because you trade, everybody will be better off. There will be friction, right? Because markets may be flooded with a product that puts domestic industries out of work. And this needs to be addressed, whether that's through upskilling and reskilling, whether that's through government grants. Sometimes countries also want to build up strategic industries. So they will have tariffs on certain imports to just make sure they can retain that capability. But you will never be able to do everything, right? Like, so trade will always exist. And I think here huge opportunities for ASEAN and also Asia to work together, but also trade with other blocs, like, for example, the European Union. World trade will continue. The US amounts for only roughly 14–15% of global trade. They make it more difficult, sure, if they want to be autark by producing everything themselves. They can look at North Korea, how that will be going. So if they are not part of the trade system and they don't want to trade, then that's up to them, right? Like, so I believe this will just be a blip, and either Trump will go back, or even if he doesn't, I think subsequent US administrations will adjust this again.